Okay, good. How are you guys? How are you? Good. Every time I ask this question, everybody will say, fine, thank you, and you. Yeah, sometimes you feel a little bit shameful whenever you ask a question, but we have different alternatives to answer the question, like nothing much, same as usual, or just so-so. But just stay focused, right? Look at this picture. Can you please tell me something about this one? Do you know what are they doing? Can you guess?
They're eating snacks, I guess.
And what does the word 16 mean? Don't know.
Don't know.
Right, fine, don't worry. Okay, basically, this is called Nather's hot dog eating contest. Seriously, they're having a contest eating hot dogs. And before we watch this video, I'd like to make a bet. How many of you think the guy on the left is winning? The guy on the left is winning? And how many of you guys think the guy on the right is winning? Okay, good. Now let's check out what's happening.
July tradition at the corner of Surf and Stillwell in Brooklyn. 1 minute, counting down now.
I just saw the commissioner looking on from the pit there. He's an even-handed man. He's not given to creating scandals where none exist, just to cover up his own failings. So hungry Charles Hardy in the pit watching the final minute. It's going to be a tight one.
The pacing still remains with Stoney. 6.19, 5.96 for Chestnut. About 30 seconds left to go. Chestnut is 3 behind.
Paul, I think this kid is going to do it. This would be a huge upset. This would be Nova over Georgetown in '85. This would be the Pats over the Rams in Super Bowl 36. Youth is speaking in Coney Island today. Will Matt Stoney become the Jordan Spieth of tubed beef?
We talked about the possibility. I'm not sure that I was believing it. But Stoney is at 60. We have under 10 seconds to go. They count down. Now 5 seconds.
What's in the mouth counts.
So you can guess who is winning. The
The
left guy or the right guy?
In the mouth.
No idea. So look at the final result.
It appears that Matt Stoney
Wow.
is our new champion.
Well, Chestnut just flipped to 60. This is unofficial, but that was an incredible battle of two incredible athletes.
Well, after watching this video, how do you feel? How do you feel? Right, basically, I guess I really feel stuffed. Me too as well, seriously. You know, this guy, whose name is Matt Stoney, he finished how many hot dogs? 62 hot dogs within 10 minutes. It's incredible, right? Have you ever imagined trying to say, oh, I really want to, join this competition. Do not do this. Every day they practice doing something like this. They drink a gallon of water every day to stretch their stomach so they could put as many hot dogs as possible. But another thing is, do you think seriously is the way we enjoy the food? Really? No, perhaps not. Right, think about it. There's always a very good debate about slow food and fast food. Here, some people will say, slow food, every day we could see it like McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, whatever. But actually here, slow food is also related to the concept of, speed eating. That means we, maybe due to some time limit, don't have enough time, so we have to finish everything quickly. Maybe you have got like 1 hour lunch break to make up for your lessons, so you need to hurry up. And luckily, on this planet, there's a certain place where we can enjoy food more slowly. Just look at this picture, this beautiful little town, which is called Grave in Chianti. I wish I could spend the rest of my life staying there, just with my wife and 12 children, maybe. Right? That's just a little bit joke. Right? I really like this one because a little bit geographic information about this place. It's located right in the middle of the Italy, and it's also well known as the birthplace of slow food movement. Certainly, some of students say, "What's it called slow food movement? What's that?" Right, but actually, this one we have got a little bit definition right here. If you look at the logo in the corner, we have got a colorful snail. But can you guess why do they pick a snail? Why?
Because the snail is slow, always slow.
Yes, think about it. From a snail's perspective, everything is moving so fast. Even turtle is moving very fast, like in an airplane. Right? And here, The purpose of the slow food movement is to create a world where people can access and enjoy food, which is good for them, good for eaters, and good for those people who grow it, and good for the whole planet as well. So right now we're going to move on to the next session to have a little bit doing with the listening practice. Well, I guess some of the students have already read my script. Don't worry. Will you please turn back? Will you please turn back? We got a blank paper right here. Will you please try to answer the 3 questions? The first one is how many interviewees are there in this video? And number 2 is what do they do? Please observe carefully. What do they do? Write down their occupations. I saw some students start writing because they have repeated several times. And number 3, what did they say about slow food? This is the most triggering part. Some students say, wow, it's so challenging. I don't know what to do. Let's review what we have learned in previous weeks. We have talked about note-taking skills. Do you still remember the note-taking skill we talked about?
Well, I was absent that class, sorry.
Oh, that's very good reason. Don't worry, let's have a quick review. 3 steps, write down. If you don't know, write down 3 steps. The first one is to recognize the main idea of the paragraph. Number 2, develop your own system. You might use abbreviations, markers, or you can even draw a bit picture to develop your own system to help you, make some of these notes. And number 3, focus on the key factors, please. Right, nouns, verbs, and also it's very important sometimes, if necessary, using paraphrasing. Okay, are you ready? Okay, now let's do this. Wow, the whole video is slow food, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, a little bit long, but stay focused. Please, a little bit background about this.
The beautiful green hills of Chianti, Italy. This area is famous for good wine, good food, and good living. And in the heart of Chianti is the slow city of Greva, population 4,000. Greva is famous for its wine and for other local products like mushrooms and cheese. This is a place that loves tradition. Time passes slowly here, and life is easygoing.
It's very nice to live here because we have a nice atmosphere, we have a nice landscapes, and so when you have nice things to see, a nice place to live in, it's very easy.
The mayor of Greva and the leaders of some other Italian cities started a group called the Slow Cities League. They didn't want Greva and cities like it to move into the fast lane like bigger cities. Now Greva is a slow city. The goal of the group is to protect the easy way of life in cities like Greva and preserve the unique cultures and traditions of each city. The slow food movement started from the Slow Cities League.
Our challenge and our duty is to try to maintain the soul, the essence, the specialness of Greve, in Chianti, and all the other slow cities.
Today, the movement has over 100,000 members all over the world. Salvatore Toscano used to run an American-style restaurant in a big city. He now lives in Greva and enjoys a slower, more peaceful lifestyle. Here, he cooks and serves food made from fresh, local ingredients.
It means taking the time, finding the rhythm that lets you live more calmly. In a lot of ways, starting, of course, with what you eat.
The movement wants people to take the time to enjoy good food made by local farmers using traditional methods, like this special pecorino cheese. It is made from the raw milk of black sheep, and the cheese is shaped by hand twice a day. This tradition was dying out until the slow food movement started to help organize the farmers and advertise the cheese. It's brought us a kind of fame. Not everyone knew about our product. The project is getting us noticed. Slow food is making sure such unique tastes survive.
Da Singapore a Macau.
From Singapore to Macau, in New York and Rome, you always find the same pizza, the same hamburgers. Slow food doesn't want this. Slow food wants the specialness of every product to be respected.
Because of the slow movement, today, Greve continues to be a city that is simply enjoying itself and doing its best to take it slow.
Okay, good. I realized one very interesting phenomenon when you are writing. Some of the students write down everything. And do you think it's possible to write down everything? Focus on the keywords. And also, some students complain to me whenever I listen to material like this, they hear a lot of noise. It goes like, beep. No, not really. When you ever listen to it, it goes like this, beep, slow food, beep. Right. Sometimes there's certain word that really can actually attract your attention, but when it comes to the whole paragraph, or the gist, the whole idea, you're kind of losing it because you focus too much on the details. All right. Don't worry, we're going to have a little bit check on some of the details. So here, let's do the next. Will you please turn over? We have got a script right here, and accordingly, I'd like to ask you a few questions. First of all, how many interviewees are there? How many? 5, are you sure? Yes, exactly, 5. And what do they do? Can you tell me? What do they? First one. Can anybody tell me? What that's the first one, please?
Grab a resident.
Okay, what about the second one? Anybody? Second one is called, oh, exactly. The second one is the slow city founder. Number 3, he is a slow food chef. Number 4, yes, a cheese maker. And number 5, a farmer, exactly, slow food farmer. So we got 5 details, not only about, that's in part. So if we're going to check this person, can you tell me what did he say? Right, you have no idea. Listen carefully, specifically about what he said.
It's very nice to live here because we have a nice atmosphere, we have a nice landscapes, and so when you have nice things to see, a nice place to live in, it's very easy.
So actually, have you got the 2 words, the blank filling for 2 words? The first word is called what? And the second one? Exactly, very simple. The 2 words that we can probably note down. What about the second one? Listen carefully again. Sorry.
Slow Cities League.
Our challenge and our duty is to try to maintain the soul, the essence, the specialness of Greve in Chianti and all the other slow cities.
Okay, so can anybody tell me the true answer, please? Can you tell me? Can you read the whole sentence, please?
Our challenge and our duty is to try to maintain the soul, the essence, the specialness of Greve in Chianti and all the other slow cities.
Okay, good. So let's look at this one. Perhaps I'm not familiar with the city's name. Don't worry. So our challenge and our duty is try to maintain. Maintain here, which simply means keep. Right, and the essence, perhaps you're not so familiar with this word essence. You can make some notes if you like. It means the very basic, nature or the feature, the qualities of something, right? And here, if we move on to number 3.
It means taking the time, finding the rhythm that lets you live more calmly. In a lot of ways, starting, of course, with what you eat.
Easy, right? Right, okay. So I would like to ask a few questions. Can you tell me the answer? Read the whole sentence for me, please.
It means taking the time, finding the rhythm that lets you live more economy in a lot of ways, starting, of course, with what you eat.
Exactly. So it means taking the time, finding the rhythm. Check the spelling, please. I got some of my foreign friends, they couldn't even spell rhythm, R-H-Y-T-H-M. Perhaps you get it right? Sorry, right, some of them got it right. Okay, and it's live more calmly means taking everything more slowly, right? And the number 4, let's check out this cheesemaker, what she said. Sorry.
It's brought us a kind of fame. Not everyone knew about our product. The project is getting us noticed.
Okay, very good. Can anybody tell me something about this one? What? The first word is
Frame.
fame.
Fame,
Yeah,
sorry,
right.
sorry.
And what about the second one?
Notice.
Noticed. Very good. It's about a kind of fame and noticed. The last one, can anybody try this one without looking? No, someone will leave the blank. Don't worry. Try this one again, please. Sorry. And I'm trying to do this one.
Singapore a Macau.
From Singapore to Macau, in New York and Rome, you always find the same pizza, the same hamburgers. Slow food doesn't want this. Slow food wants the specialness of every product to be respected.
Okay, yeah, I think it's pretty easy. I like to ask, a boy right here. Can you tell me what did you write down? The first one
Singapore.
and the last word?
Respected.
Exactly. Very simple one. But here, why I actually selecting 5 different interviewees? Because think about it. If we summarize, actually people from different backgrounds, they have different perspectives towards the slow food. A quick summarize. The first one, from a local residents' perspective, everything seemed to be perfect. We have beautiful landscapes, right? But what about the second one? From the slow city leads perspective, what do we need to do to maintain the soul, the essence? And number three, from a chef's perspective, what does it mean? It means finding your own rhythm, your own life pattern, to take your time slowly, right? And from the cheesemaker, it's a good way to advertise their business. And from a slow food farmer is to be that every single product should be respected because we have got same standardization in different cities. Pretty easy, right? So I really hope that we can just look at, just the whole thing from different angles, from different people's perspective. We got several time left. I'd like to do a little bit speaking practice. And I've got some of the coins with me. I'd like to give you, each of you, 1 coin. And now, not going to bribe you, right? Very simple. Right, we're going to do coin flipping, right? What do you do? Basically, you're going to guess it, the number or the flower. If you guess it right, you read the question to your partner, and your partner answers this question. But if you lose the game, sorry, your partner reads the question, and you have to answer it. Are you clear? Okay, so turn around, please. Turn around, right? Turn around, everybody. Don't feel scared. Pretend that they don't exist. Fine, right? And so, right, try to guess. Don't. Right, here we got another extra one. Right. Okay, read the questions, please. Right. Yeah, guess it. Make sure. Right. Yes, read it. If you lose the game, you have to, answer the question. Yeah. Right, guess it. Yeah. Okay, good. So because of time, and don't worry, because we cannot put everything within this 20 minutes session, don't worry. So quick view about what we have learned. First of all, we have reviewed some of the note-taking skills, 3 steps I have already told you. Hope you next time you will never be absent again. And yeah, number two, don't worry, we have got the speaking practice. But don't worry, we're going to discuss it further because it's impossible to squeeze everything in. And homework, if you have a quick look at this script, we have got several words underlined. So what you need to do is think about those questions. Do you think you'll be able to use all those questions, those words to answer the questions? Right? Do you think it would be possible? So next time, bring this script with me next time, and we're going to talk more about some of the details related to speaking part. Yes, thank you everybody. Let's call it a day. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Okay.
I'm ready for your two
I enjoy
questions.
your class.
Thank you. Thank
okay,
you.
so you know
I love your style.
I prepared for two
long
questions
question.
for you.
Right.
We'll make it short.
Sure, right. I really appreciate it.
All right. We know that slow food, not snow food, right? Is good for us. A slow way of life is good for us. Yeah. But my question is, if everybody knows that this is good for us, why does it take an effort to preserve it and even to revive it?
To revive it. Okay.
Why does it take an effort to do it?
Okay, that's a very good question. Well, what jumps into my mind is my personal experience. You know, I was grow up in a place we have very strange food. We seriously eat rabbit heads. You know, to kill the lovely rabbit. What do? We cut off the head and cook it. It's so bizarre, and this kind of tradition is dying out because people are more concerned about the health issues. It contains very high level of spicy factors, so it's not very good for your stomach. Besides, people start to consider that we need to protect those animals rather consume them. So I think it has something to do with people's attitude, and gradually, our young people, generally speaking, we have been greatly influenced by the fast food industry. Every time, quick. We want to finish it. As a result, we have changed the attitude towards slow food. And sometimes there's a dilemma. I really want to take my time slowly, but I've got like 1 hour lunch break. What should I do? Perhaps the only option you have is just go to the fast food chain restaurants to grab a cheeseburger or something to save time. But then the most important part is keeping a very good balance between them. And that's the reason why I think everybody should take their effort to keep this balance. Thank you.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you. Balance is the word. Okay.
Okay.
To balance it, let me move on to the next question.
Sure.
Okay.
Please.
Well, as for the teaching, this time I wanted to focus on technology.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, which seems to have nothing to do with fast food, with slow food.
Yeah,
okay.
sure, please.
I noticed in the past, 1 day and a half, teachers had different treatment of the video material that they have got.
Yeah.
All right. Some teachers showed the whole video.
Video, yes.
Some teachers cut the video program into separate clips.
Mm-hmm.
And in your teaching, actually, you combine the two. You showed the complete program, and then you cut the whole program in clips, and then you extracted the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Right. So you showed the picture, and then just play the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Right. Clips of the soundtrack. But I also noticed that when you played the complete video program, you also included the first 10 seconds of the opening that showed the title and the length of the program.
Yes.
And that opening part actually, I guess, was inserted by the program organizer, by this context organizer.
Yeah.
You didn't bother to cut that part. You just showed the whole thing, right?
Right.
So that was a small observation, but my question is, how has technology affected your teaching? Does it help you to maintain your slow pace of teaching, or does it quicken your pace of
Okay, thank you again for your super long question.
Yeah, this time.
Right.
Just to make a balance.
Right, try to make a balance. That's very good. Thank you very much for Professor Wang's long question. And I think the most important part about the science and technology, we tried several. I think being teacher is not easy because you're super professional with the computers here. We had so many technical problems during this. I had the videos first time, but it doesn't work, so I changed it into MP3 form, just the sound, not the pictures. And you just mentioned a very good part about why did I leave the 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It happens in my contest, I'm dealing with some of the students who really want to go abroad for the IELTS and TOEFL test. And those lectures about the same length, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. One problem with the student is when they are listening attentively, it's very easy for them to lose focus. Sometimes we're saying, oh, what's going on, right? I lost it, right? I can do it. So we need to deal with this pressure first. But actually, back then, we need to specifically focus 1 or 2 points where they have to listen very carefully for the details. And being a teacher, the technology is something that we can take advantage, but we cannot be the slaves to new technology. Sometimes I even want to sacrifice. I don't like microphone, seriously. Every time when I teach in my lessons, I don't use microphone because I really appreciate the real connection. According to one educator, Miss Pearson, she mentioned a very nice sentence that education is all about building relationships, not the code machine is not keeping a certain distance away from you. We really want to build up these connections so that the students would be willing to accept what you have taught. And also think about, there's one sentence I really like to share everybody right here. That is, students will forget what you teach, but they will always remember what you are. Thank you.
Thank you.